Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I'm just going to run you through today a typical setup on a Les Paul. I know there's lots of these videos about, but people like to see setups on guitars that they own. So with that said, this is what I do for a standard setup. Right, so the first thing I do is I check the nut action. So I just fret the second fret and tap the string above the first fret, and I do this mostly by eye, and these are acceptable, so I'm not going to do anything on these, but sometimes they're uneven and you need to just adjust those. So that's the first thing I check. Now I'm checking the neck relief, and I fret the first fret and the 12th, and then I just tap around the 7th, and if that's okay then I leave it. If not, then I need to adjust the neck, but in this case it was just fine. And here I'm using 4 business cards, and I found that that's exactly the right height for a standard setup. And I use 4 business cards on the top E and 3 at the bottom E, and that, in my experience, is easier than measuring with a caliper, because it comes out to exactly the same thing and it's just much easier. I'm just checking the pickup here because there's a little issue. The pickup is half working, half not working. It landed up to be a dead pot, so I found that out whilst I was working on these. And here I'm just cleaning the pots out with some electronic cleaner and a bit of lubricant, just to get all the gunk out. Also soldering some dry joints that I found, but this is part of the standard setup. I just go through all the electronics, make sure there's no crackling, that sort of stuff. As I said, just soldering up some dry joints. These frets were in good condition, so they just needed a polish. They didn't need any leveling or anything, so I'm just using some steel wool with a protective thin piece of plastic with a slot cut inside, which goes exactly over the fret. And I just give those a quick polish and they're good to go. So this is just part of a standard setup. We're not leveling the board, we're not doing anything extravagant. It's basically a string change and a setup. Then I just oil the fretboard with some fretboard oil after cleaning off any gunk that I could find. And you'll see I've got some tape over the pickups. That's to prevent the steel wool from adhering to the magnets that are on the pickups. So just quickly restringing. Here I'm just setting the intonation, and on this guitar they were actually spot on. And I do this by ear. Because I've got quite a good ear and it's usually spot on. Here I'm just setting the pickup height, just making sure that they're nice and level. And I also do this by eye. Giving it a quick playthrough, nothing to hear here, it's just acoustically anyway. Just making sure there's no buzzing or anything else. Basically set the relief, check the action at the nut, check the overall string action, check the intonation, clean the frets, clean the fretboard, check the electronics, restring, recheck the action, make sure everything's good. And I'm going to go test it now to see that everything's working. If you like this sort of stuff, please subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time.